Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second day of the Natural Products Applications Congress. This morning will be dedicated to the cosmetic area, and before the break and poster sessions, we will have the opportunity to hear 2 keynotes and 6 oral presentations. Before that, I would like to remind you that you can see the posters of each area, food, health, and cosmetic, in the corresponding link at the website of the conference. And also during the presentation, you are invited to ask some questions on YouTube live stream chat so they can be answered at the end of each presentation. And now it is my honor to present Dr. Ana Palmeira de Oliveira from the University of Beira Interior. Dr. Ana is graduated and master in pharmaceutical sciences by the University of Porto and Ph.D. in pharmaceutical sciences by the University of Beira Interior. She is invited professor at the University of Beira Interior, researcher at Health Science Research Center, and CEO at Health Products Research and Development, LabFit, and Pharmapoly. Dr. Ana completed her Master in Business Administration at the University of Beira Interior in 2018 and is author of more than 60 papers, 1 book chapter, and 3 patents. Her work has been recognized with 8 prizes. Her research field is in the health sciences, specially dedicated to the study of skin and mucosa disorders, mainly in the study of bioactive compounds, as cosmetic ingredients and pharmaceutical actives against pathogens, the host pathogens interaction, and the safety assessment using in vitro tests. Dr. Ana, thank you for your availability to share your valuable work entitled Natural Cosmetics, a Market Trend Sustained by Science. Whenever you want, Dr. Ana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Carla, and thank you also to the organization committee for this very nice invitation to be here today, sharing with you our experience, my experience as researcher, but also in our position in marketing the company, how we also relate with these issues on natural cosmetics and ingredients and consumers' expectations for the new products that they demand to be developed. So this is a combination of perspectives and experience, and I hope at the end I can contribute to elucidate more than confuse you. So in fact, when we look to the market, we see that consumers' demands in the last decade, more than 1 decade now, but they demand for products that are considered natural products. And this is more than the natural composition of the product. So consumers, they like that products have a whole concept of being natural. And this whole concept is related, of course, with the composition, chemical composition, but also with this concept of being products that are eco-friendly, that are aware of the animal welfare policies, that do not use packaging too much, or this packaging is also biodegradable, and also this very important issue that is the capacity, the ability of these products to give them the experience of being revisiting traditional use. So in fact, when we look to the consumer demand on natural products, we have to consider that natural concept is behind natural composition. So when we develop a product, when industry develops a product, and also when researchers do contribute to this natural concept of cosmetics products, need to be aligned with these expectations. Of course, that natural composition is very important, and it leads the industry to the need to bring raw materials and products that are based on natural composition and that have biological certification. So this is really a main issue related to the ingredients and to the capacity that we have to bring new ingredients to the market, and these ingredients being very well characterized. This is, in fact, based on a lot of sciences. And all the other demands of the consumers related to natural concept also. It is a lot of science behind this natural concept. And this is something that is the focus of my talk here today, and the sharing, the process of sharing with you the experience that we have. So this is so important that there is an ISO published defining what is a natural product, what is organic cosmetics, in order to regulate what at least these cosmetics have to have in their composition and the origin of these ingredients. But when we look to the market, and recently me and Rita, she's my sister, we supervised a master student in pharmaceutical sciences, and we looked to the Portuguese market, and we checked for 300 products that have in their labels something related to cosmetics, natural cosmetics. Diana was the student, and she made a wonderful job doing this analysis of the market. And at the end, we concluded together that in fact this is confused. A lot of certifications are available. I will not spend too much time in this because at the end of the morning you will have a talk on this issue also. But well, I would like to share with you that our thoughts was that one symbol for international certification will be really a very interesting approach in order to clarify and make it clear for everyone this communication on natural compounds. You know, the depression that the industry has about the natural cosmetics is really based on the ingredient and the quantity of ingredients and the diversity of these ingredients and how safe and how active they have to be competitive in the market. So this is something that industry and researchers have been investing a lot during the last years. But at the end, we need to keep in mind that despite consumers' demands for natural products, one idea must be consistent also in the market, that natural does not mean safe or better. So the ingredients, the new ingredients that we propose, both in the researcher perspective or already in the industrial perspective, must be very well characterized, both on their bioactive approach and also on their safety assessment. And this is something that in the market is very frequent. People thinking that for being natural, things are better or safer. Usually they are more active, and if used with some control, they are of course safe. But it is our responsibility as researchers to find those that are active and those that are also safe. And this was something that was a central point in the cosmetics regulation that changed in 2009, and that was started to be active and started to be mandatory in 2013. And this changing in the regulation was a lot to do with the safety issue too. So the regulation put it very clear that all the products that are in the market must be safe. And for that, there is an international scientific committee that gives opinions and that defends the safety of these ingredients, and also that demands that the ingredients that are not safe must be removed from the market. So this is the scientific committee that is behind the safety assessment of cosmetics ingredients. So there is a lot of science in this pathway. All the ingredients, as I said, must be this pathway to the market to prove their efficiency and to prove their safety. And don't forget that consumers have a high expectation. They really want that natural ingredients show to be more efficient and more safe. But for researchers like us, natural ingredients can also be challenging at labs because they are, most of them are mixtures, and to test mixtures in the safety approach can be, in some cases, in some tests, can be very challenging experience. When we plan research projects, or when we plan to prove or to test if a new extract, a new ingredient, natural ingredient or non-natural. Okay, this applies to all the ingredients, but focus on our approach of discussing the natural ingredients. When we look to the plan of planning a research for a new ingredient, we need to keep in mind that the regulation also brought this change, that is the complete animal testing ban. So the tests for safety or efficacy cannot be made in animals, just on in vitro or in vivo non-animals, so in humans. And this also stressed a lot of research. And this research for new methods that substitute the in vivo animal methods, so replace the animal methods for non-animal in vitro methods, is validated by a group of European labs that are responsible to prove, to test, and to qualify a method that is proposed. A lot of methods are proposed for researchers that are in the universities, that are in the research centers, that are in the polytechnic institutes, and that want to propose a new method to replace an animal method. So this network of labs validate these methods, and if they are valid enough, they are robust enough, they will be described in a procedure, in a SOAP procedure to be used worldwide. So this is also a research and investigation approach. For instance, one example is the eye irritation methods. You all know the Drace test on rabbits that was replaced by in vitro methods. Now we use the HAG method for chicken. It's a non-animal method, or the bovine corneal opacity, or the skin model, it's not skin, but the three models, tissue models for eye replacement. It's also possible to use 3D model for eye replacement tests. So this was the result of a lot of research on the cosmetics field that is very important, and that is a continuous process, because we continue needing new methods, and it's really, really important, because to test new ingredients, we need to have robust methods. We need more tests, but we already have some answers for some of these topics. For instance, for skin corrosion, skin irritation, there are already 3D models that can be used to characterize the safety of new ingredients, and that can be used for natural ingredients. We are very used to use these methods, so we have experience with these methods, and they are easy to be used, and they are very robust, so they can be useful for you if you want to change, to check and to test for new ingredients. There are some cases in repeated dose toxicity. For instance, we continue having some problems with the replacement, but well, the pathway is going, the research is ongoing, and I believe that soon we will have a complete replacement. I invite you to check for these two posters that our team is presenting in this Congress, and that where you can see some of this, the use of these methods to characterize plant extracts. But the concept for the consumer about the natural product, as I shared with you in the beginning, it's not only on the composition or in the safety of this composition for the human use, for the human skin or for the human mucosa. Is also about the environment perspective. So biodegradability and ecotoxicology are also very important issues when you test for a new ingredient. And the natural ingredients have this challenging of being even more biodegradable and even more eco-friendly, eco-safe, because this is what the consumers are demanding, and this is the consumer expectation. Celso Ferraz will also present some of our results on ecotoxicology evaluation of plant extracts, and you will be able to check for the use of a method here at our university. But of course, that the ingredients have to have some efficacy, or they have to have a new value in the market. They have to have added active value in the market. And one of the most frequently tested is the antimicrobial effect against protecting human from pathogens. So the antimicrobial effect against human pathogens is very frequent to be published with natural ingredients. And we tested for instance, natural mineral waters from the central region of Portugal. We tested the antimicrobial activity, and we published this information. And also there is an important paper from larva extract. There is another approach of natural ingredients, the most frequently tested, that is very important, the antimicrobial properties of oils used in cosmetics, both vegetable essential oils and other extracts that can be used and proposed as ingredients. But also, one of the things that we see in the market in the last years is this approach of claiming preservative-free. And consumers have also some expectation that a natural product do not have preservative, a chemical, synthetic, as they usually say, chemical. Natural products are also chemicals, but synthetic, they want to say, preservative in the formula. But about this is a tricky thing, because the regulation that I shared with you in the beginning of this presentation is very clear. There is a list, a positive list of preservatives that can be used in cosmetics. And of course, we can contribute with new preservatives. We see that, for instance, plant extracts, essential oils, if they are present in a formula, as this review states very well, if the essential oils are present in the formula, in a cosmetics formula, they have the natural capacity to preserve the formula because they have the antimicrobial activity. But then we have to keep in mind that the regulation is clear, and the preservatives that are listed in the annex, the positive list, are the ones that have to be used, the only ones that have to be used. And for instance, in Portugal, our regulatory entity, the position of the Infarmed is that all the cosmetics products that do not have an exemption of using a preservative, meaning cosmetics product, for instance, that have water available in the formula for microbiota to grow, they have to have an addition of a preservative that is in this positive list. So they do not allow the replacement of the preservatives that are listed in the regulation from using other extracts or other ingredients that could be used, that could be having activity and effect of preserving the formula. So for regulatory entities, the preservation of the formula must be done using a preservative that is in the regulation, so that is in this positive list. So we can contribute for new preservatives in this list, including the approach of testing natural compounds, but the dossier must be produced, the tests must be done, and the dossier must be proposed to the SCCS committee that I shared with you in the beginning. Other efficacy tests are also proposed on natural ingredients, the antioxidant effect, the anti-pollution effect, now related to the pollution that we have. For us, in Portugal, we don't really have a lot of this problem, but in other countries, the anti-pollution effect is really a very important claim. But also the blue light protection. We are all submitted to blue light effect using our laptops, using our mobile phones. So this is also a very important trend in the future. If we combine different tests, we can support a new ingredient for instance, acne. For acne, it is important the antimicrobial effect of the new ingredient and the antioxidant effect of this new ingredient. The antimicrobial effect, for instance, against Propionibacterium acnes, that now is called Cutibacterium acnes, and also against Staphylococcus aureus, Staphylococcus epidermidis, of course, but also the anti-inflammatory effect of these ingredients. And I also invite you to check for this poster where we share with you some of our results on anti-inflammatory effect of two Timo species from Portugal. Another important trend that is also based in science and that is now producing a lot of data and discussion around is the microbiome trend, the microbiome claim. And for natural ingredients, what consumers are expecting is that the natural ingredient protects the microbiome. That the natural ingredients do not have a significant impact in the microbiome in an healthy skin, of course, because if we have a disturbance of the skin, like in acne, we want the natural ingredient to have a role in controlling the microbial growth. But when we are talking about healthy skin or healthy scalp, we want, the consumers want the natural ingredients not to contribute to disrupt the microbiome. And what is this about the microbiome? The microbiome is the collective genome that we have in our skin related to microorganisms. So it's the sum of the microorganisms that are present in our skin in each moment and those that are transient, that are microorganisms that in some moment, for some reason, they are there and they are temporary. And as I don't know if you have this idea, but the skin microbiome, the microbiome, and now we are talking about skin or scalp, the skin microbiome is stable over time. With some external exposures, the microbiome can change, but if the external exposures stop, the microbiome will return to the natural, to the original profile. And it is established, it looks like that it's not in the birth moment, but in the placenta. And this is something very new too. This is something that was very recently described. So we need to protect it during our lifetime, and natural products can contribute to this. And also the perspective that not only the microbiome protection is important, but the relation of the person with the environment. So this perspective of being biodegradable and being safe for the environment. Again, the all or beyond perspective. So this is really a good opportunity for applied R&D in this field of new ingredients. These are some publications that we contributed with antimicrobial tests, for instance, new ingredients that were proposed. And also, I would like to share with you and invite you to visit the website of this R&D project that we are promoting together between our company LabFit and our university and the Polytechnic of Castelo Branco, that aims to test extracts, natural extracts from plants produced in Portugal, has in this perspective of testing the safety and efficacy of these extracts, promoting them as potential cosmetics ingredients. So this is a project that we will finish at the end of this year. We already have good results, and I invite you to come to visit the website to have more information, and it will be updated soon. We tested and we are studying this species, and we are very enthusiastic. We are very happy with the results, as some of those are really very interesting ingredients for cosmetics industry. So this was our perspective that I would like to share with you, and I'm free now for answering your questions.
Thank you again, Dr. Ana, for your interesting presentation. We have at the moment no questions from the audience, but I have a curiosity or questions, I don't know. What do you think are the most urgent steps to overcome in the application of natural products in the cosmetic area? Do you think it is the research? There are science limitations, because you said that this is related to several fields of research, not only the ones that you talked about. Or do you think it is most the legislation steps that need to be overcome and the unifying of this legislation to be common to all the countries?
Well, regarding the unifying of legislation in Europe, we already have the regulation. Yes. So we are already in a good condition to promote these ingredients. Regarding science, we already have good models. Of course, that we need some models, but this is an ongoing process. It's something that we continue, all the scientific community continue investing in this. So it's something that I think that every year we are better. What I think that is mandatory now is to promote the communication between the resources that we have in natural ingredients in the different countries, meaning the production process, for instance, the production capacity, and the industry that aims and that wants to use these ingredients. Putting in between the scientists that need to validate the natural extracts or the natural ingredients in order to industry to be able to use them. So I think that this triangle of three fields that are very important: the production, the resources that are naturally available, what are those, how much we are able to produce or to collect without interfering with the environment. What is the science that we have supporting these ingredients, and what are the industry needs and demands on the quality and on the information needed for these ingredients. I think that this communication is really what is missing, but it's not missing totally. We have good examples of natural ingredients that started in the research labs and came to the market and that are available to be used by the industry to produce the natural cosmetics. So I think that we can improve, but we already have good examples.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ana. Now we have a question from Sarah Gonçalves. When you formulate toners using hydrosols, most hydrosols come ready preserved when you purchase them from suppliers. Even though not all suppliers declare this. Do you need to add that preservative even so? Sorry.
In the when the produce, I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
When you formulate toners using hydrosols.
Okay, you have to, well, at the end, in the cosmetic product, you have to make an important test, that is the efficacy preservative test. The capacity that your formula has to preserve the product from the growing of microorganisms. So the preservative efficacy test is something that you have to do in the final product that you developed to validate that your product is protected. If the concentration of the preservatives in the ingredient that you bought are enough to protect the formula, well, you don't need to add. But I think that knowing the concentration of the preservatives in the ingredients, I think that I may be saying that it's not enough. You will have to add additional preservatives to preserve your formula, but you must decide based on the preservative efficacy test and analyzing the concentration, the final concentration of the preservative that you have in the formula that came from the natural extract.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And now Elena Ribeiro also has a question, if you don't mind. What does it take to incorporate an ingredient into the market? For example, a natural ingredient in cosmetics.
A new one, or a natural ingredient that already has authorization to be used in the market? Well, if it's a new one, you have to characterize the efficacy, the safety. You need to combine this information, and if it's really, really new, you have to have a safety opinion on the ingredients. Because it's important to validate the ingredients. But if it is some ingredient that already exists, that is already used in cosmetics for a particular production, for a specific production of this ingredient, you have to have your own characterization of the ingredient, your technical sheet of your product. Meaning that you have to describe what you have in this ingredient, including impurities, if it is the case, for instance, and you have to have a safety data sheet for that ingredient. I don't know if was this the context of the question.
Yes, she wanted to ask for a new one. Yes, thank you for your answer. And lastly, we have a question from Isabel Gaivão. Are there approved assays to test genetic effects on natural ingredients?
Yes, mutagenicity, for instance. There is a test to test the effect of a new ingredient in the mutagenicity genotoxic safety approach. The AIMS test is very widely used to test genotoxicity, but there are others, including 3D models for genetic toxicity.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Ana, again for your availability. And I hope you're enjoying the Congress. Stay with us, please.
I will stay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.